I've been robbed and assaulted, beaten, standing up for a friend, physically, mentally abused by a narcissist for 6 years. I've been the scapegoat for most of my life. And guess what? I'm still standing and I'm stronger than ever. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to stay motivated no matter the obstacle, no matter the traumatic experience. I'm going to show you the way. I didn't have no friends. I didn't have family that I could confide into. I was bouncing from 9 to 5 to 9 to 5. I was with my ex who would keep me isolated, cheat on me behind my back, lie to me, slander my name to anybody that would listen. I was completely unaware of it. And then punched me in the eye. At this time, I was on social media. I was putting out positivity, fitness, motivation. I never mentioned to people the struggles that I was going through. I had to heal. I had to lick my wounds and get back up. It just got to a point where I just stopped posting on social media because I'm not the type of person to be like, oh, can you help me with this? I'm the rock, the one that you would come to for help. I'll be there for you. But it was hard for me to reach out to others for them to help me. It all started when me and my ex, we went on a date at a restaurant where the tables were super close to one another. Anyway, we sat down, we ordered. He's a 6 foot big man, insecure, my ad. At this point, I was talking to him. He felt I was being too loud and I was embarrassing him. I apologized. I was quiet from that moment on. I thought, you know what? I don't need this drama. I just don't need it. I'm just going to eat the food, be quiet. He then asked me, do you want some dessert? It's already awkward. You know, there's people that are next to us and he's telling me I'm too loud. So I thought to myself, no, it's fine. And then he felt like by me saying that, I was embarrassing him even further and making him look even worse. You see how insecure this man is. Anyway, as we got up to leave and walked towards my car because I drove us there, I got into the driver's seat. I was putting my seatbelt on. He then opened the passenger door. He then was like, oh, you embarrassed me in there. I'm going to get a taxi. And I was like, okay, fine, just get a taxi because it was already awkward. And I'll be honest, he has slapped me before. I didn't want to aggravate him any further. He's then walked off away from the car, but he's left the passenger door open. Of course, I wasn't going to get out of the car. I took my seatbelt off and then I leant over to the passenger seat just so I can reach the door and close it. At this point, I could see him running towards the car. Next minute, you know, I saw a white light. I lost consciousness for a moment and then I got up from the passenger seat as I was leant over. I got up, got out of the car. At this point, he's in front of me. I feel like my eye is closing up. Sorry, this was my right eye. It was closing up. I was feeling it and I was like, whoa, like it's really big. It's like a balloon. Like, I was like, what's going on here? He then started to cry and say, I'm a bad person. I'm a bad person. You should call the police on me. You should call the police on me. Straight in victim mode. I was still trying to understand what was going on. My main concern at that point was my eyes messed up. I need to go to the hospital and I need to see what's going on. He offered to drive me to the hospital. I was like, no, you ain't driving my car. I was like, no, I'm fine. I got into the driver's seat, put my seatbelt on. I could only see through my left eye. I can't see through my right eye. I'll be honest with you, I don't have 20/20 vision in my eyes. My eyes are actually really bad, but my left eye is way better than my right eye. So I was lucky that my right eye was the one that went. My left eye I could see. I decided to drive the vehicle. He then got into the passenger seat. He was just bawling his eyes out. At this point, the weather just turned for the worse, like crazy downfall. My main mission was get to the hospital. I need to know what's going on with my eye. He was sat in the passenger seat just crying, just saying, oh, I'm sorry. You should call the police on me. And I was like, just quiet. Got to the car park, heard my wheel. That absolutely killed me as well. Got out of the car, went to the hospital. The lady, she took the information and then the lady was like, oh, just take a seat and the triage nurse will call you up. When you sat at the waiting area, I just was processing what's happening to me. He's hit me. That's what I processed. At that point, when I was sat in the waiting area, like I realized, damn, he's actually hit me. And then he stopped for a moment and looked at me and he was like, oh, what are you going to say? At this point, his alligator tears were gone. He was just like, oh, what are you going to say? I was just literally about to answer. And then the triage nurse, she called my name. Oh, you know, okay, gotta go. Got up, got into the area. He's in the room as well. I got two nurses looking at me, my eyes all ballooned up. swollen, and I'm just like, please look at my eye, please look at my eye. Can I still see through it? I've got bad eyesight. Will I still get my sight back? Is my face going to go back to normal? She was like, before we do anything, what happened to you? I couldn't say that he hit me because obviously he would have just been taken and I was in love. I made up a story and I said, oh, we've got big doors with big high doorknobs. There's a stiff door at home. My mum was trying to get into the room and I was right behind it trying to come out the room. She tried to open the door, and as she did it with force, and then the doorknob hit my eye, and that's what's caused my eye to go up. I'll be honest, I could, when I was looking at the nurses' faces, I was like, I can definitely tell they know I'm BSing them. And I was just still trying to convince them, no, seriously, that's exactly what's happened and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, they were like, okay. And then they looked in my eye, did the light, whatever. Here's some painkillers. You know, we suggest you take some time to heal. Your eyesight will come back. Everything will come back to normal. Don't worry. You'll be okay. He just looked at me like, got away. He was trying to be all nice and everything. But I was still in shock and I just wasn't, I needed time. It was really hard. As we were exiting the hospital, got the painkillers and everything, I've got back into my car. I'm going to go home. I suggest you do get a taxi at this point. He did that and he went. The next day, he didn't acknowledge what happened. He was saying, oh, I didn't punch you. I flicked you. I flicked you. I was like, it's a flick. What I was doing, I'm not even going to lie to you, because I was so like under his kind of spell. I was trying to understand, was that really what happened? I literally was in the mirror and I was looking at myself and I was like, flick, flick in my other eye, trying to understand, could he have done that with that? And obviously you can't. There was no way that he could have done that. He's lying. Like, he really is lying to me. And he's such a, horrible person. I need to get away. I blocked him off everything, changed my number, did everything. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that after the comment that he said, like, oh, I flicked you, I took a picture of my eye and then I sent him a photo of it. He said, oh, I showed my friends. They agree with me that I only flicked you and it was an accident. Fully gaslighting me. I was so weak, to be honest with you. I really wasn't in that mind state. I wasn't in that mentality. The communication between me and him started to die down. He would switch from victim mode to act like nothing happened. He'd go out with his friends. I'd be at home just recovering. I really felt like at this point, damn, he's really gotten away with doing what he just did to me. Like, wow, like how sick can you be to be that kind of person? I was kind of kicking myself down because I was thinking, why didn't you call the police? Why did you not call the police? And then I felt like even at that point, because it was like days have gone by, I think it was about a week or so. If I call the police now, what will they do? Will they do anything? And if they do, this man, he's been aggressive towards me before. I don't want to put myself in a position where he's going to do that to me again, like give him ammo. No, I didn't have no friends to talk to because he kept me isolated. Family, I couldn't confide in them because they were going through so many situations themselves. I'm like the rock. I'm the one that you depend on. I'm the one that helps you when you're down. So I didn't want to add any more pain. I'm going to handle this myself. I got to a point where I was becoming like really lonely. I decided the co-workers that I was working with, they were actually, really nice to me and I did really like them. They offered, oh, hey, do you want to come out to a little outing with us? You know what? I think I will because I'm lonely and it would help me take my mind off it. Okay, let's do it. I was getting ready. I was in front of the mirror and I was trying to like just do my makeup, put my foundation on. And like the brush was like, I was trying to touch like my eye and it just kept, it really hurt. So I kept crying and putting makeup on, kept crying, messing it up, putting more makeup on. This is not working out for me. So, I just got some primer. I put a bit of like gold, that illuminator stuff. I put that in there and then just patted it on my face. I thought, okay, put on a cap and just wear it really low so nobody can see the eye. And I thought I'll get away with it. No one will see me. Got to the place. The moment I walked in, everyone was staring because it just felt like, when you wear a cap and you're like, you're trying to be the mysterious one, you're bringing more attention to yourself. I just felt like, oh man, this is just even worse. We was in this Arcadian where there was bouncy castles and golfing. We've gone into the place and with my co-workers, we're having drinks and food. It did help. I won't lie to you. It really did help take my mind off it. Yes, everybody was asking me what was happening. I was lying to them. They all believed me because Yeah, they just all believe me because I'm pretty convincing when I need to be, just so I can protect others and things like that. That's the only time I will lie and convince, to protect others from pain and hurt. I went back home. I was a complete loner. Nobody would text me. Nobody would call me. I wasn't talking to him and I didn't want to. I was living with family at that point in the house. It was really hard. I tried to avoid as much as possible being in my room, just focusing on me. I could notice my eye was going down. I need to face my mom. I got to my mom and I was like, hey, what's going on? This happened to my eye. I was with co-workers. We was on like a bouncy castle. I bounced too much on the bouncy castle. I fell over the bouncy castle and then my eye hit like a stump, and that's how I've got this injury. She actually believed me. So she was like, okay, cool. Just make sure you put an ice pack on it and just, take it easy. And I was like, sure, no problem. I was trying to find work as well. I didn't have a job. So I was trying to stay focused on myself. It's easy to be in the cave and just stay down. This is not me. This is not my narrative. I'm a lioness. I know that sounds cheesy, but really I started to feel like I'm a lioness. I'm not letting this man try and break me down. That ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna show him who I am. I'm gonna show you. I started to go back to the gym. This was my only sort of socialization that I had. So I'd get ready. I really enjoyed it. I'd get ready, put my leggings on, put my sportswear on and get my bag ready, everything. It would help me take my mind off it. First time back at the gym, I didn't snap any photos because of course my eye was still healing. Like on the treadmill, just do like a bit of running and things like that. I'd have a flashback where it was like, I'll come back to that scene. Then my brain would just break down. I'd end up crying on the treadmill. So I'd stop the machine. I'd run to the bathroom and then just basically sit there and cry. Once I was done crying, I'd wipe my tears, sort my face out, get my cap back on, get back on the machine. I'd come back home and that would be pretty much my days. I'd try and look for work and then just go to the gym, get my mind off it. I bet you're wondering, how did I get myself in front of this camera to talk to you about it today? It took a lot of crying. It took a lot of healing, being about myself. I really want to get this story out to you guys because I know there's a lot of people just like me that go through these situations. They never talk about it. They'll never talk about it. They'll take it to the grave. I want to encourage you to get your story out there. Don't be ashamed. That wasn't your fault. That was not my fault. He's an insecure person. That was him. He was a weak individual. Yeah, you might have been 6 foot. You had these kind of big kind of muscles, but you wasn't a man. You was a little mouse. He was a little mouse. No man would ever act that way towards a woman. Never. I did call up the NHS therapists and I remember sitting in my car. I was bawling my eyes out. I was talking to the NHS therapist. He was like, been through a lot. And I remember just crying and just telling him everything that happened. I remember when there was like a ticket man that was about to give me a ticket because it's parked on like some double yellow lines or something. You know how it is. But anyway, the ticket man was coming up to me. He saw me, eyes bawling out and everything. And he was just like, don't worry, it's okay. Yeah, so day by day, I would get ready, go to the gym, increased my self-care. I was doing my makeup, I was buying new clothes to make myself feel better. Remembered that before the traumatic event, everything that happened, and I was on social media and I was motivating you guys like to be positive, to be motivated in your fitness journey. And I remembered the comments that I was getting from people, and that people that will privately message me and say, hey, thank you so much. You're really inspiring me to keep going and keep getting better. Having those thoughts in my head, I thought, I can't give up. I've got to keep going. I know this hurts, but I've got to keep going. And I've got to show you guys you can get back up. You can get through anything. I promise you, you can get through it. It's hard to talk about, but if we don't, then how are we supposed to evolve humanity's mindset? How are we supposed to become stronger? That's why I chose to share my story with you today in the hopes that it will help you and to let you know that I'm going to start making these videos. I'm going to keep sharing more of these experiences that I've been through and the wisdom that I've gained from it and the strength that I've gained from it. I'm going to show you that you can get back up. You can stay up. The key is to never give up, never give in, not until you win. Shout out to Les Brown on that one. And I hope that this helps you. And I do want you to acknowledge what you've been through. It wasn't your fault, okay? Stop being harsh on yourself because nobody asks for these situations no matter what. I didn't deserve that. You didn't deserve that either. And I want you to know that you are a strong person. For that person to try and come at you like that, for that person to try and come at me like that, they're clearly weak individuals. You don't need to become the lion, the lioness right away. No, that's not what I'm saying. Go into your den, cry, lick those wounds, but don't get comfortable in that den. I need you to come back out and become yourself again, okay? Don't let it be the narrative of your story, of your life story. Don't let it. There's other people that have been in worse off situations and they're not here to talk about it today. And I'm going to be a voice for them, and I'm going to be a voice for you. I'm here for you 100%. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So don't give up. Drop a like and a comment of a traumatic time you went through, or if you're still going through it, share your experience in that comment. I really want to know. Others want to know as well. Don't be afraid. This is a safe den. I will be posting videos every week. If you want to join the pride, then you need to subscribe.